Hi, welcome to my channel, Takoyaki Tarot. Today is December 30th, 2024. Monday, December 30th. Tomorrow is the last Tuesday of the year. That's insane. Tomorrow is the last day. So tomorrow will be New Year's Eve. Alright, I'm getting a couple things, but you gotta give me a minute. So before I get started, I want to remind anyone that's watching that these messages are not going to resonate with everyone, and that's okay. If they resonate with you, gives you clarity, great. If it does not, then don't force it to be your story. Alright, one thing I want to point out. Alright, so, it's supposed to be, so it's December, so it's supposed to be like winter, like that winter cozy snowy weather, right? But it's not. I kid you not, it's beautiful outside. It feels as though, you know how, I mean, if you live in an area where you experience snow periodically, like every winter season, right? So then you might know what I'm about to say. So you know how like it's been winter for a couple months, and you can just tell that spring is on the horizon because the way the weather feels, it's like a, oh my gosh. It just feels like spring is here. That's what it feels like outside. It feels like spring is here. Like the snow is melted. I kid you not. I hardly see any snow. The snow is melted. The ground is all wet because like the snow is melted, and I guess it rained at some point, but you can't really tell. You don't know if it's like the snow that melted. It just feels like the air. It just feels like new things are about to emerge and grow. It feels like spring outside. I love it, right? I love the winter too, but it feels like, so it's so funny because it's almost as if things are growing in the middle of winter. Now, this could be for you, collective. Things are growing for you in the middle of winter, where things should normally be dormant, right? Where things don't normally grow, because the winter is like the time of like resting, right? You harvested everything in like the fall, right? You packed it away for the winter so that you can enjoy in the winter. If it's like seeds, you keep the seeds safe to start planting them in the spring. Birds do it, bees do it, but they, like in the springtime, animals usually wait to procreate in the springtime, right? But it feels like things are growing right now in it's winter time, but it feels like spring. So there could be something that's growing for you, like a job opportunity, a career. This could be you're growing, right? Spiritually, mentally, emotionally. For some of you, it could be like a little bebe, right? Congratulations. That's for some of you. For others of you, if it's not that, it's just you're just blooming and growing in the middle of winter. I'm kind of seeing like a rose that's blooming in a field of snow. Like it's nothing but like it's just snow, like smack dab in the middle of winter snow, and then like the field of snow, it's just a single, like a pinkish red rose just blooming there, looking beautiful. You ever see winter roses? Oh my gosh, gorgeous, right? So that's kind of like what's going on. So it's almost as if I'm getting like lotus pods too, because I know lotus flowers, they tend to bloom and grow. You could be glowing. They tend to bloom and grow in like the darkest, dankest conditions, right? Like lotus flowers, they only grow in like dark, muddy water. And you wouldn't expect something so beautiful to grow in a condition like that. But apparently it needs conditions like that to bloom, right? It's crazy, but that's how that is. So I feel like even in the most unthought of conditions, environments, you still somehow found a way to bloom, collective, which is pretty badass, honestly. My nose is still stuffy, but it's not as stuffy as it was yesterday. But it is still there. I have tissues next to me on deck, so you know, and then I have my my coffee. So I drank a lot of tea yesterday, so that really helped a lot. And it's so crazy too because like the air, it just feels like it just kind of like opened up a bit. Like it's seriously, it feels like spring outside. Like, but the part of spring where like the winter is ending and the spring is about to like join us, that like the beginning of a transition, the beginning of a start, that something has begun for you, collective. Do you need to wash your hands? Hold on. Maybe. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Alright, hold on. Alright, yeah. So you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. John 8:32. That's the card that came out. Yeah, I feel like there's a couple things that I'm getting here. By you walking into your truth, just that alone is freeing you. You can breathe better, you can think better, you can live better, you can be better, you can laugh better, right? Just allowing yourself to be your most authentic self and be happy, right? And you'd be surprised, because again, I see this all the time. Some people cannot do that, and that's why they are almost always miserable, because people cannot just be free to be themselves. And in order to do that, you need to know who you are, blah, 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 blah. I'm also getting for some of you, so that by you allowing yourself to be free, to be who you are, your most authentic self, my earlobe is itching, right? Oh my gosh. You know how, okay, there's this movie called, I think it's called 21. And it's like a blackjack thing movie. It's really good, right? And at one point, they were talking about how, like, when I do this, that means, like, the table is whatever, right? And so one of them was, like, tugging on their earlobe. I feel like you being yourself, that kind of, like, gave off the signal to, like, the divine. To like, okay, so they're themselves now. Now we can start. That you being yourself, it just like jump started something for you. And the divine and the universe and the cosmos, it jump started something for you. By you living in your truth, by you being who you are without, oh, what are they going to think? Or what about this? Or what about that? Or, well, I can't wear these shoes because then people are going to think blah, 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 right? You passed that. You kind of got out of that. And when you did that, like, sent off, like, a massive, like, message or signal to the universe that you really, DAFG. Don't give a, DGAF. Don't give a right? You just don't. And I feel like that's what the universe needs. More people to, like, be your authentic self and stop caring about people who are not walking in your shoes. So, right? So that's the thing, right? But the other thing I was going to get is that, yeah. So you doing this sent out a signal or whatever to the universe. Like, okay, they really don't care what people think. Now we can tell them what we need to tell them. Now they can know what they need to know. I'm hearing sirens in the background. So it's like a domino effect. You being your authentic self, you give a signal to the universe. The universe is like, okay, while they really don't care, they're happy to be who they really are. Now, because of that, we can tell them what we need to know, either about themselves, about their upbringing, about whatever legal things are going on, whatever about their family, about their friends, about the lover, the relationship. Now they can know, because that information isn't going to deteriorate them or set them back or affect them where at a point in your time where you cared about what people thought about you, you can't know this information, you can't know this truth, you can't know this knowledge, this wisdom, because it's going to, like, you care too much about what other people think about you, right? Only now that you don't care, you're free to be who you want to be. And let me reiterate, right? So what I mean by that is, like, you're not, this is only for those who are not actively trying to harm other people, hurt other people. You're living your life the best way you can to be a healthy, more positive version of yourself. You're not being malicious, you're not being evil, you're not stepping on people, right? You're not hurting anybody, you're not doing anything illegal, right? Then, only then does this apply, right? Because people be like, well, if they can do what they want, well, that's the difference. The collective isn't doing nefarious things deliberately to hurt other people or be illegal. Like, that's, come on, like, use your brain, right? So I feel like that is like a whole domino effect. You being authentic, the universe is like, okay, so they really don't care. Now they're really allowing themselves to be who they are supposed to be, which is great. Because now we can give them this information. We can tell them what they should know, they need to know, blah, 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 right? And for a lot of you, this is like truth about your family, truth about your upbringing, truth about your lineage, truth about your inheritance. Whatever this truth is, it's literally going to continue to... So now you may be free out here, right? And I just saw 1133, right? You may be free to out here, but there's something a little bit more... This is going to go a little bit more in depth. Like, it's going to be like a more... Like, if you think you're free, which is great, collective, because you definitely are, right? If you think you're free now, wait until the divine does what they're about to do, and you're going to be like, wow. Wow. Right? You think you're free now, which is great, because you are. But when this truth hits, you're going to be like, wow. Wow. Right? I just saw, like, eagles spreading their wings and flying. Right? You're really going to be, like, flying. You're really going to be free. You're really going to be able to... Like, it's so funny because I feel like collective, like, you know you can do whatever you want, go wherever you want, like, any dreams, and whatever you're manifesting, you got it, right? I got it, right? And that's great, right? That's where you should be. That's where you need to be. You can literally, like, a power manifester, right? That's wonderful. But when you know this truth, it's going to be, like, I don't know, like 10 times more. I don't know how to explain that into words, but it's just like, this is good. It's good. No matter what, it's good. Because you think you're free now, which you are, and you know you are, right? But God is about to come in and give you something, or tell you something, or show you something, right? And it's just going to, like, propel you even farther. Oh, like, it's just going to, like, I don't know. I'm hearing push you to greatness, all right? Because it's kind of like you are where you need to be in order to fulfill something, to... It's so corny, but okay, like a prophecy, or like to pursue something, like your purpose or whatever, right? You are where you need to be, but this is about to, like, push you even more ahead of the game. And that's just for someone to say, well, that's not fair. Well, I don't. Favor isn't fair, my friend. That's just how it is. That's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. Yeah, no, it's not. Alright, let me move on now. So that's good. This is great, right? And especially since today is December 30th, tomorrow's going to be New Year's Eve, and then Wednesday will be January 1st. It's getting cold. Alright, I'm also getting that where you are now, it's like, for some of you, you could be like, well, I'm good now, I'm fine. God's like, no, but you need to know this. It's time. You need to know this. A lot of you could be thinking that, like, no, I have enough, I'm good. God's like, I didn't say that, though. Right. Some of you could also be feeling like, it's not bad. Like, you're humble. You're very humble people, right? Collective, you're very humble. But that doesn't mean God's done with you, right? God's like, don't be bashful. You have more blessings and abundance on the way. Don't be bashful. These are yours. These are for you, right? That's funny. But you also have to keep in mind, your harvest is never really your harvest. Your harvest, you share it with your children, you know, your family, those who you are called to help, right? I'm also getting give your something to the less fortunate or something like that. But also use your discernment, right? Like, you don't have to help the whole world. That's not your job. You just help those who are you're called to help. That's it. Everyone else is gonna have to find their way with God. And some people just require that extra push from you, straight from above. Right? And I know that sounds like, well, that's not fair. That's why I was hearing that. And people be like, well, that's not fair. I need to push too. But, right? I don't know what to tell you. Hold on. Alright, I'm back. I had to take like a 2-minute break only because I was getting distracted and I didn't want the reading to like veer off track. Because I don't want, like, you know. Now the sun is coming out. Yeah, because it was like, it was nice. It felt really good, but the thing is, like, it was still like cloudy at like 10 o'clock in the morning. Well, 9 o'clock. And now that it's like around 10 o'clock, now the clouds are parting. So now you can really like see the sun. I don't know, there's something like about spring air, like I can just always like, it smells like spring outside. Message of concern, bad health reverse. That's you, baby. It's like, alright, so listen, bad health reverse, people are concerned that your health is good. Yeah, I know that's weird, but there are people that are worried, and it's like, you have, I'm so glad I took a break. You have people that are around you, concerned and like scared. They're like scared, worried, anxious, concerned, because there's like, what do you mean the collective's fine? What do you mean the collective's in good health? What do you mean the collective's not sick? What do you mean the collective's not crazy? What do you mean the collective's sane and aware? What do you mean the collective's being themselves and not afraid and blah 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 blah, right? And that scares them because your health is good. Bad health reverse. You're not sick. You're not crazy. You're not unhealthy. You're not whatever they wanted you to be, and that scares them because you having good health and being who you're supposed to be, like allowing yourself to be your most authentic self, is allowing God to help bring in this truth for you. And that scares these people, especially if this truth has to do with them. It has to do with like money they took from you, an inheritance. This could even be like the powers that be that didn't want you to realize how powerful you are alone without having those 3D matrix constraints, right? It could even be that. I'm laughing because it's almost always that. That's funny. Yeah, I needed that break. Okay, so that's that, right? So it's kind of like, what do you mean they're not anxious? What do you mean they don't care what people think? What do you mean they're going to wear the shoes that they really want to wear, and they're going to wear them because before they couldn't wear them because they were afraid of what people thought about those shoes? What do you mean? And it's literally just that. It's so simple when you think about it, right? It's so simple. Like this, it's just, it could be something as simple as the shoes that you want to wear, that you truly want to wear to be able to express yourself. But because you're worried about what Betty down the block is going to think about those shoes, because you know that she's not going to like those shoes for whatever reason, so you kind of like, well, maybe, you know, I shouldn't wear them because then she's going to think something and she's going to feel some type of way, and then she's going to be uncomfortable, and then I'm going to feel embarrassed and blah, 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 blah. And then these people, they're just like, yes. Right? It starts off with shoes, and then it starts off with pants, and then your outfit, and then your hair, and then how you want to dress, and who you want to date, and where you want to go to school, and what you want to know, and what you want to learn, and your job, and, you know, if you want to, you cannot, it's all that. It starts with one little thing, and it snowballs. But you're just like, okay, I'm going to wear the shoes, and I don't care what Betty down the block thinks. That's that. And they're just like, oh, my word, you don't say. She's wearing the shoes. My God. Right? It's like, yeah, I'm wearing the shoes. And God's like, yes! Wear the shoes! It doesn't have to be shoes. I'm just saying shoes because, also because I do see a lot of shoes in my dreams, right? Like, there was a time, if you watched my readings, like, this past summer recently, too, and, like, a little bit from last year, around this time, I was getting a lot of dreams about... Yes, baby? Alright, I'm on my way. I was getting a lot of dreams about, like, finding the right shoes, and they wouldn't fit, so I would just whatever. And then finally, I did find the right pair of shoes in my dreams, and I wore them. And what was it that I saw in that dream? Was it like a white peacock or like a white fox as well? Oh, yeah, I remember that dream now. Yeah. Alright, I'll be right back. She needs my help. Alright, I'm back. Yes? You need mommy's help? Bring it over here. Oh, I gotta hide this candy. So, yeah, they're just like shocked and scared, really. I will open for you. You need a change? Here, I need that. Here. There you go. Enjoy. I love you. Alright, so they're concerned because your health is good, and there really is nothing crazy about someone allowing themselves. It's frozen. It tastes good frozen. You know, being who they want to be. You're not hurting anybody by wearing like a pair of like blue shoes or whatever, right? Like, mature man on the bottom of the deck, upright. Occupation reverse. So there's something that this mature man is doing that's not working. Adjudication reverse. Yeah. Or there are people around this man, this mature man upright. This could be somebody around your age or older than you. On a rare thing, they could be younger than you, but like they're like wise for their age or something, right? Like you could be 35 and this person could be like 30, right? So, but I feel like if it's not I don't really feel like it's this man that's doing something. I mean, it could be for some of you. Whatever he's doing, it's not working. But I feel like there's this man. There's something about this man here. There's people around this man that's doing something. They could have like done something out of like a bad judgment call, or judged you harshly, or judged you the wrong way, or said you were this and come to find out you're not that, right? There's something about that, about what these people have done or were doing, and it's not working. It didn't work, right? Because everybody's getting this message that your health is good, like you're fine. Like, what are you talking about? The collective is blah blah blah. What are you talking about? They're fine. I just saw them the other day, or I was just talking to them last week, or I'm literally in front of them right now. What are you talking about? Right? It's like that. And this man, this mature man, I was gonna say Miss Mature Man, so it could be I'm a mature woman as well, but yeah, there's this mature man, and he's just like, what are you talking about? The collective is fine, right? So that's something in the sidelines. I don't feel like that's entirely relevant, but it's not relevant to like where it's got to be in your face, right? But it is relevant enough to where it's coming up, so you can know like that's also in the happenings around you. All right, you know how like when you're watching like a show and there's always like side stories going on that somehow, some way, eventually wrap up towards like the main story character. It's like that. All right. This man is also realizing that something is not adding up about what some people said. I'm gonna get one right here, and then I guess I'll switch the decks. Yeah, because I have to use that one next. Change. Wow. Yeah. You've changed. What do you mean they're not in bad health? What do you mean they've changed? What do you mean they grew? What do you mean they're doing what they want? What do you mean they're going where they want? What do you mean they're gonna work where they want? What do you mean they're gonna dress how they want to dress? What do you mean they're gonna talk to who they want to talk to? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? My word! You don't say! It's like that. They're very shocked. Right? For some of you, you could be moving. For some of you, you're going to be like called to move. Just pack your things up and move. For some of you, because you changed something, if it's not like a physical move, you like just moved, like your spirit just changed. Like you grew. Your spirit moved. So for some of you, it's because of that, because of the change that you've done within yourself, right? So for some of you, it may not even be physical. For some of you, it's because you moved physically that this is happening. For some of you, it's because you changed inside your mental, emotional, spiritual, physical even, right? So if it's not like your outside environment that you just kind of like packed up and moved, it's yourself. Because you changed the inside of yourself, this is like, okay, now, like I said in the beginning, like now you can know the truth. Now you can know. Now that you're allowing yourself to heal and change and be your most authentic self, you can know what you're supposed to know now. Because before, and I say this all the time, before you could not handle this, right? You couldn't, I don't know, it wasn't in the cards, literally. But now it is. And now you have a group of people that's just like, I'm also getting, they did not anticipate this change for you. So for some of you, it's like you changed on the inside. You healed, you've grown, you've matured, you've wisened up, right? More responsible, your health is good, blah, 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 blah. They did not expect this. Coffin reverse on the bottom of the deck. Privileged lady, wow, upright, yeah. So you could be this privileged lady or like a privileged man. You see? Upright, coffin reverse. Somebody was hoping that something would end for you, or for on a darker tone, some of you would put an end to yourself, right? But you changed, and you have still continued to remain this privileged lady and or privileged man. You take it how that resonates, right? You changed, and everyone was like, "What? There's still a privileged lady and or man? No way! What do you mean they're not unalived? What do you mean they're still alive? What do you mean they're still..." Yeah, I just saw the collector the other day. Like, you know, I rented into them. You know, they were going into like Costco or like BJ's or whatever. Yeah, they're fine. What do you mean? They're alive? Like, yeah, they're totally fine. I was just having a conversation with them. Yeah. What? I can't believe it. Does this mean? Do they know? Yeah, somebody's freaking out because you still being alive, right? Or right now. It's like every day. I'm only laughing because it's like, why would you even like create a predicament where you're not put in this position, right? And it's like every day that you are alive and getting more and more closer to 2025, that brings you closer to this truth that you're about to find out, where towers are about to fall down. What do you mean they're alive? Do they know? Do they know? And it's just like, the God's like, they're about to. I'm about to tell them right now. I'm like, I thought they wouldn't be alive. It's because the longer that you are alive, the longer that you are free and alive and kicking, I guess, that brings you closer to this truth that's about to, like, really, like, you think you're free now? I'm telling you, this is really about to set you free. Whether it's financial freedom, spiritual freedom, physical freedom, whatever it is, right? You think you're great now? That's good. That's amazing. Keep it that way, right? But God's about to come in even more and, like, bless you, like, even more, which is, like, you can't even imagine. And a lot of you might feel some way about that because you're like, I'm good now. I'm good. I think I have all I need. And God's like, no, but I didn't say that. You need. This is. You might think like you could be humble, right? Like, oh no, I'm good. I'm fine. God's like, don't be bashful, because this harvest isn't just for you. This is for your lineage. This is for your family. This is for those that you are called to help with this harvest, right? So don't be bashful, because I'm about to give you something that you never thought you could have before, that you deserve, that you earned. Cycles reverse. So yeah, you broke a cycle. It could have been like a generational cycle within your family, within your lineage, within your blood. This could even be a cycle that you were continuously going through in this lifetime now, and you broke it, right? You broke a cycle, and I do feel like for a lot of you, the cycle is just so simple. It's just allowing yourself to be who you want to be, allowing yourself to be your most authentic self, and you'd be surprised how difficult and hard, like, it is for, like, it's just hard for people to be themselves. They can't imagine, because they're so caught up in, like, what if? Well, Betty down the block thinks, or, you know, Zachariah down the street thinks, and blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, who cares? God's like, I fashioned your heart myself. It's so crazy. I literally read a passage in my Bible. Just, I'll get it. Okay, so it's funny because I was just like doing what I gotta do over there, and then I just looked at my Bible, and this was like the first passage that I read for the day. It says, "Yes, baby."
I'm gonna take a penguin at the moment for cake to the ivory.
Baby, we're gonna make cookies later, okay? We're gonna make chocolate chip cookies, and you can help me.
Help me?
Yeah, are you gonna wear my shoes? Here, take the other one. You need both. Don't lose them.
Mom,
Yes.
what do you do with flowers?
Yes, but Mommy's gonna use the flowers on the vase.
Oh no, the flowers!
It's okay that they died. Mommy's gonna use them anyways. You can have it. Yeah, take it with you. There you go. Okay. It says, this is Psalms 33, verse 13 to 15.
Yeah.
And that was like the first passage I read of the day. It says, "The Lord looks from heaven. He sees all the sons of men. From the place of his habitation, he looks on all the inhabitants of the earth. He fashions their hearts individually. He considers all their works." That's crazy. Like, God knows, like, I made your heart. Why are you so worried about what other people think about what your heart desires? Like, what you truly want to be, what you truly want to do. I made your heart. I know. So I'm telling you, it's okay. Like, if you want to be a bus driver, go be a bus driver. I made your heart, so I know. Like, otherwise, like, how else? Like, if like, you know, like, God's telling you, like, I feel like for a lot of you, like, a lot of people, they're just like, well, I truly want to make ice cream and, you know, open my own ice cream shop, but I'm afraid about what Betty down the block is, or, you know, my friends or my family, or I'm just scared, or I have doubts, I have fears, I have worries. But God's like, I put that desire, I put that dream in you. Like, that's because you're supposed to bring happiness to the children of the community and like elders and the people, and you know, your ice cream shop is going to be the ice cream shop where people come together to celebrate and have parties and memories and this and that and this and that. But a lot of people, they don't, like, God knows what's in your heart. God made your heart, you know. So for a lot of you, I feel like you kind of just broke out of that cycle of like fear, doubt, worry, blah, blah, blah. And God's like, yes, now that you are allowing your heart to be open and you're following your heart, now I can do things on my end. And for a lot of you, you broke the cycle. You broke a cycle and you're doing whatever your heart is telling you to do. Now, again, I feel like I have to say this because it's like, it's not, you'd be surprised how common sense is not common. You're not doing anything illegal. You're not hurting anybody. You're not being malicious. You're not evil. You're not being disingenuous. You're not targeting anybody. You're minding your business and trying to be happy. That's it. All right. So that only applies for those. Like, if you're out here trying to be like nasty and deliberately evil, then what? Obviously that's not of God. All right. But yeah, a lot of you broke the cycle. And now, because you broke a cycle, you can, like, truly be, like, you broke a cycle, you're like, wow, I'm free, I can open my own ice cream shop, right? Which is great. But God's about to be like, that's great, you're doing what you gotta do, so you're about to have chains of ice cream shops, or you're about to have, like, an ice cream shop that's gonna be open for 150 years, right? Your family's gonna be taken care of, or your ice cream's gonna be branded, and it's gonna be in stores all across the world, and blah, 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 right? But you had to kind of, like, break that cycle in order to, you know? Alright, let me move on. I'm just using ice cream as like an example because it's easy for people to like understand. Whether or not that's your dream, that's great, kudos. So this is definitely going to resonate. But to be honest, I'm just using ice cream as like an example. Okay, it could be anything. You could be a shoemaker, or you want to have your own clothing brand, or you want to be a doctor, like. And you'd be surprised, why would anybody be afraid of being a doctor? And especially if you come from a family where, you know, going to school, people in your family, like, oh, they went to college, they got a degree, they think they're better than us. Mr. Educator or Mrs. Education, right? It's stupid shit like that. It could be anything, literally. People will always find something to make someone feel bad or ashamed or guilty about, especially if that means that that thing is, like, going to benefit humanity, if it's, you know, of their highest good, if they're actually doing something worth value, right? They're like, what are you producing, and like, what are you giving to the world that's going to like help them, even if it's for your little community, your little town, your little city, right? How are you rigid, yeah, how are you break down the walls, how are you you know, contributing in a positive way, right? So you got people that are not contributing in any kind of way, and they'll make you feel bad for wanting to contribute. Like, you, even you wearing those blue shoes that you wanted to wear, it's so simple, so small. Even if you would just want to wear those blue sparkly shoes, right? But you're afraid because they're blue sparkly shoes and people might comment or stare or gawk or whatever, right? It could be something as simple as that. But you wearing those blue sparkly shoes will inspire, like, a kid walking by, like, wow, those are so cool, and that's going to like water something in their brain, like that seed of an inspiration, and then they're going to grow up to be an artist, or you don't know, or like a baker, or you know, your fellow neighbor. They've always had this idea, but because they were always afraid, and they see you wearing your blue sparkly shoes, that's going to, you know, push your neighbor, you know, to like, wow, so if they're doing that, then it's okay that I want to make croissants for the rest of my life. Like, whatever it is, you don't know. You're just supposed to do what's in your heart that God told you, because God put that in your heart. God made your heart individually, right? So we got rigid, right? This is about some walls that you had to break down. You had this wall up, right? It was a wall of fear, doubt, confusion, blah, 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 and you broke that down. I feel like these people, there could have been people around you, or even like entities, spirits, demons of the negative aspect, right? Entities or spirits of the negative aspects, right? But I feel like you had some sort of influence around you that was making you want to keep this wall up and be afraid of For some of you, it could even be like tapping into your intuition or listening to God or following your heart. But you had a wall up. And I feel like for a lot of you, that runs in your lineage, like having this wall up to be so afraid of being yourself that you just die regretting that you did nothing that you wanted to do in your life. Even if it was simple as wearing that red lipstick or wearing that that bold eyeshadow color, or, you know, marrying the girl that you wanted to marry because you were afraid of what your family and your friends and your community might think. So you settled and you married to the girl that your family and your friends and your community would accept of. And, you know, at the end of the day, on your deathbed, you still have love in your heart for the girl that got away. And it's shit like that, you know? Like, and so... and then you die, and then you come back, and then you gotta do it all over again. Or like your children go through the same exact cycle of not being who they want to be with, or doing what they want to do because, you know, things like that. So you broke that cycle, all right? You'd be surprised how deep that stuff goes. Something so simple, right? So deep. So you broke that. I'm gonna get one more, and then I'm gonna go to tarot. Okay. Lust reverse. I do like that it's in the reversed for some reason. Obedience upright. Okay, that's why I like it. Obedience upright, right? So you know how to listen to God. You know how to be disciplined, obedience. You know how to walk in your faith. You know how to listen. I feel like for some of you, a lot of these were, what do you mean they're not sick? What do you mean they're not sleeping around? What do you mean they're not being promiscuous? What do you mean they're not being sexually irresponsible? What do you mean? What do you mean they're not a man whore? What do you mean they're not a whore? What do you mean they're not a player? What do you mean, blah, 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 right? So for some of you, you could have, I don't know, for some of you, people expected you to just be reckless and loose and promiscuous, whether you're a man or a woman. They expected that, and you just either decided to stop being that, or you just never were that, or you're just not that. Or people wanted to judge you and say, okay, yeah, because it was the community, no, it was the occupation reverse and adjudication reverse. So there's a man that, so if people were saying that you slipped around, you're promiscuous, you this, you're that, the man, that's why that's relevant now. The man, the mature man upright, is realizing that's not, you guys just said the collective is promiscuous and they sleep around and blah, blah, blah. But that's not what's lust reverse. That's not what they are. That's not what they're doing. That's not, how is that the case when it's literally in the reverse? They're not a lustful person, right? If anything, like, they see how obedient and faithful you are, and there's something about swords. They can see how that you're very balanced out, because she's got scales in her one hand and a sword. They can see how very balanced out, how very, like, upright you are. You could be a very honest person, or you just stand in your truth. You're like, what you see is what you get, like, I am who I am kind of energy, right? And for some people are, for some reason, people are just like, no, it can't be. That's weird, though. Like, why are, you know what's interesting, too? It's so interesting, but, like, in a way where it's just like, why? Why are people so worried? And this is particularly about someone's intimate sexual life. Why are people so worried about the intimate sexual life of another adult? That's not weird to you? Where adults are concerned about who other adults are sleeping with? That's not... I just saw 4334. Like, that's not, like, why? Like, that's not... Why are you thinking so much about another adult's genitalia? Like, why? Right? Unless you want to sleep with them too, right? But if that's not the case, then why are you so worried? Why are you making it your business? Either you don't have anyone to sleep with, you want someone to sleep with, no one wants to sleep with you, you're jealous, you're concerned, you want to be like, oh, the collective, he's a player, blah, 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 blah. Oh, the collective, she's promiscuous, blah, 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 blah. Like, whatever it is, like, I just, like, why? Why are you so concerned about what another adult man or another adult woman does in their private time? Like, why? And the reason why I'm so stuck on that right now is because of lust in reverse. It's, for some of you, it's specifically that. For some of you, you're going to be finding out who has been questioning or commenting or speaking upon your personal lives, right? Or saying, oh, you shouldn't because they're sick from being lustful. But come to find out, it's like, I just saw the collective like the other day. I was just talking to them. They seem great. They never looked better, right? So someone could have said that you were, because of your promiscuity or you being like a man whore, you caught something and it's like your health is like deteriorating, you're not doing so good, blah, 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 blah. But it's just, what do you mean their health is good? Like, what do you mean they're fine? Right? For some of you, you could have changed just in time, right? Or you decided not to sleep with that person, or you decided to like leave an environment, but that's a whole different story. But we got 3 Pentacles reverse. Yeah. So you don't want to work with these people, and there's a collaboration of people that they can't, I don't know, they cannot work together anymore. It's like they can't rely on what they're saying to each other, right? They're like, it's like, you don't know what you're talking about, you don't know what you're talking about, you don't know what you're talking about. I can't, like, no one's learning anything from each other because no one knows what they're talking about, especially when it comes to you. So if one person goes to the group and says, oh, did you hear blah blah blah, they can't just roll with it anymore, right? Because that's bit them in the ass so many times, right? Especially like, I just ran into the collective the other day. They're fine. You mean they're alive? Like, yeah. And meanwhile, they were all telling each other, yeah, no, they're dead, they're blah, blah. But it's like, what? You said, no, you said, right? So, I'm mostly getting that there's a group of people that whenever it comes to like you, they're at a block. They don't know how to like learn information, or they don't know how to like find out about you or get information on you. And they're realizing that the best way to do that would be to ask you, go directly to the source. But because you are you, collective, that's like nearly impossible, because I'm not, what? Why do you want to know? Like, right? So they can't do anything. This collaboration is no more. Also, that mature man, Ace of Pentacles upright. That mature man that's around all of you, they're realizing that they don't know what they're talking about. This group of people, they don't know what they're talking about. Ace of Pentacles, your finances is good. You're increasing. You're getting things. Like I told you about that harvest, right? You think your finances are good now. You think your materials are good now. You think your stability is good now, right? You think your resources are good now. God's about to be like, let me show you. Let me show you, right? There's no need to be humble. There's no need to be bashful, because, you know, and God's, you're probably like, oh, I'm good. Thank you. I'm so blessed. Blah, blah, I'm grateful. I have enough. God's like, no. I'm about to show you how blessed you can truly be. And there's this group of people, they're just like, what? You mean they're still getting blessed? They're still getting this? They're still getting that? My word! Also, if they were doing magic to like affect your health, it didn't do anything, because maybe before you broke certain cycles, before you were where you are now, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, blah, 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 right? It definitely would have worked. But because you changed, it's not working. And this mature man is just like, but didn't you guys say blah, 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 blah? But they're still in the Ace of Pentacles upright, right? And they're just, you're receiving and receiving and receiving. You're just constantly getting things from the Most High God, right? It's like every day you wake up with a new blessing. The Queen of Swords upright. Yeah, you're not crazy. That's what I'm saying. For some of you, I don't know why I kind of picked that up earlier, but it was important for me to say that if these people thought you were crazy, you're not crazy. With the Queen of Swords, they're only trying to say that to like gaslight people around you, or they may have even tried to gaslight you. Like, oh no, you're crazy. Why would you think that? But they're only trying to do that because you being the Queen of Swords upright, like, you just know what you know. You cannot get one over on the Queen of Swords upright. And here, another, this is kind of like Libra energy to me, the balance with this obedience card, right? So, what was that on the bottom of the deck? Grove. Wow. That's like resting and healing and relaxing. You're living in luxury. You're fine. You're fine. You're not in bad health at all. These people also don't like that how smart you are. Like if they can't make things up and make it stick, they certainly can't go directly to you to get information, get you to give up information on yourself, because you're the Queen of Swords. You know what's going on. And with this obedience card, God's literally saying don't. And you're like, okay, that's it. That's all I need to know. You said don't, say less. And that's it. And that really irritates these people because it's not, they think they're going up against you. They're going against God. God is telling you whether to say this or whether to say that. And it irritates them because they can't do what they want to do with you. They can't say what they want to say about you, right? And this mature man is like, well, you said they were in bad health, but not only are they perfectly fine, they're the Queen of Swords upright. So they're smart, they're intelligent, they know what's what, they're wise, they're not crazy, they're actually very sane, very intelligent. And I feel like I wanted to say that you're not crazy. Someone could have said, oh yeah, they're crazy, but you're not. You're just so smart that it irritates them because they cannot make you seem dumb or gaslight you or try to put one over you or try to make other people seem that you're this or you're that. But it's like, you're just saying that because this is the Queen of Swords and they're too smart for your stupid games. That's all. That's it. Whether you're the Queen of Swords or the King of Swords, bless you! You can't fool the Queen of Swords upright or the King of Swords upright because they're too smart. And they're always going to know when the games are afoot. For some of you, there could have been a Queen of Swords in the reverse that was trying to play games, trying to say that you're crazy. But it's like, if they're crazy, then how come they're still being blessed? How come this? How come that? How come this? How come that? Right? But that's another story that I don't want to get into because I really want to make this more about the collective and that's positive. Right? It's like, there's something in here about an example being shown. Like you're an example of something, or these people are being made an example. Their tactics, their ways, what they've done, it's going to be used as an example, right? Like what not to do, or who not to be friends with, or who to be cautious of, or you know what I'm getting to? They're being made an example, but to the mature man. This mature man, God is using these people as an example to this mature man of what kind of people you need to listen, like, or to watch out for, or pay attention to their motives. That's what that is. There's a group of people that are being made an example of, but to the mature man that came out upright, God is showing them, these are the kind of people that you need to watch out for. These are the kind of people that you need to pay attention to their motives, especially when it comes to saying what they have to say about the collective, about this Queen of Swords. Pay attention to why there's a group of people that are so concerned about someone's bad health, right? Or someone's, this could also be because you have your walls up, why someone has their walls up to a group of people or a person, right? It's this mature man is getting a lot of lessons. God is like really showing this person, like, God is making an example of everybody on board. An example of the mature man, an example of you, an example of this group of people. There's examples all around. You get an example. You get an example. Everybody gets lessons, right? That's what that is. That's what that is. All right. These are. Oh wow! Look, King of Swords upright. It came out, and I just said that too. So yeah, this is. They got the King of Swords upright, Justice reverse. Ace of Cups reverse, and the King of Cups upright. What was it that came out in the Adjudication reverse came out, right? In my Kipper deck. And then we have Obedience. There's something really significant and heavy about balance, right? Justice being brought. And then we have the King of Swords. So I feel like this could be you. You could be this King of Swords and this Queen of Swords energy. I feel like you're able to, like, wow, you're very intelligent, very, very smart. With the King of Swords upright and the Queen of Swords upright, I feel like somebody wanted to, like, punish you for your own intelligence, punish you for how smart you are, right? Because you're smart enough to know, like, I can do whatever I want. Like, who are you? Like, if I want to wear these blue sparkly shoes, I'm gonna wear them. Like, you're nothing. Like, for what? And I feel like there was like a group of people that wanted to punish you for that, or bring some sort of injustice to you, or hurt you. We got the Ace of Cups reverse here. I don't know. I'm getting something where like somebody wanted to see you cry, or they wanted to make you cry, or like they resented your intelligence. Somebody feels like it's not fair how smart you are. Because it's like, alright, you see it in TVs and movies all the time, like with geniuses, right? They're so smart, so they know so much, and it's kind of like, the smarter you are, like the less you care, or like which is kind of true, right? Like, the smarter you are, the more you know, the less you care about the stupid, minute, I don't know, small, simple things about what people think about me. Like, that doesn't matter. When you're, like, really, really smart, you realize what you, like, why am I going to care about the thoughts of somebody? I shouldn't say that. But you just realize that just certain things don't matter. And I feel like these people, they had something about your intelligence, because it's like, you know, like, there are just certain things that don't matter. And it's like, they resented you for that, because not just because of how smart you are, but because you know that there are just some things that don't matter. I'm trying to get it out. It's like, they resent you because you know, it's like, I don't know, they can't be themselves. And it's like, to them, it's like, they want to punish you because you're smart enough to know what people think about you. It doesn't matter. And they're not there yet, or they can't get there. It's like something about privilege. Like, your intelligence gives you, they think that, I mean, it's not, your intelligence gives you privilege to, like, a sense of self, where if you were dumb and you were always, like, worrying about what people think, anxiety, keeping yourself limited and being bound by boundaries, right, with rigid and blah 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 blah. But with your intelligence, it brings you a sense of like, no, that doesn't, I don't care about that. That doesn't matter to me. And they resented you for that, because you know, you're smart enough to know that certain things don't matter. The things that matter to them, it doesn't matter to you, and that's only because of how smart you are. And it's like, they wanted you to worry about that, the same things that they worry about, which is probably why they're not getting those harvests, but whatever. But they were bringing some sort of injustice to you. They could have also tried to tamper with a connection, a love connection, a relationship, or try to say that because of how smart you are, you think you're better, or you can do whatever you want, right, and not have to care about the law or morals or whatever, with Justice reversed and Ace of Cups reversed. You just don't care. You'll step on anybody. Very lustful, but lust came out in reverse. The King of Cups came out upright. But the reality of the situation is, not only are you highly intelligent, you broke cycles, you're not lustful, and you're just smart enough to know with the King of Cups upright. The King of Cups is like, the Queen of Cups, like, okay, I feel like the difference between the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups, obviously there's differences, right? But the Queen of Cups, she's more like, she'll show you, right? She will, if you need a hug, she will hug you. But the King of Cups, he's like, are you good? Okay. But if you need a hug, I'm here for you. It's like that, right? And I feel like you're smart enough to know, like, you're, okay, how do I explain this? You're highly intelligent, so either you're an earth sign, either you're an air sign, or a water sign with air sign placements. It doesn't matter. Either or. But I feel like because of how smart you are, you don't come off as emotional. You don't come off as, oh my God. You don't come off as that. And it's like, to these people, because you don't give them the reaction, or you don't give them the information, right, with the Three Pentacles reverse. You don't they don't, you're not into the same things that they're into. You don't, if you want to wear those blue sparkly shoes, you're gonna wear the blue sparkly shoes, and you don't care. There's something about that here where it's like, you're so smart enough to know like where to pour emotionally, when to give reactions, when not to give reactions, what information to give, what not information to give. They feel like you're privileged in an unfair way to these people, but not to God. God made your heart the way it is. God made you the way you are. You are who you are, right? God knows that. That's why God is blessing you, because you're just like, to you, you're just like, I don't care what you guys have to say, because that's not what God is telling me to do. And God's like, yes, that's exactly what that is. That's where you need to be. And these people resent you because you don't care about what they think. You don't care about, come on, giving them emotions and pouring into them and caring about what they care. Trying to prove a point that, makes them feel good and blah, blah, blah. It's so simple. You broke a cycle. You're doing what you want to do. You're free to be who you are. You're intelligent. You're actually emotionally intact. But it's just, I'm not going to hoot and holler and throw a scene because you feel some type of way. Because you can't get information on me. Because I'm getting blessed. You feel like my privileged lady did come out upright. Remember, it's like you think that my privilege is unfair, when the reality of the situation is you did all the work necessary to be in this state, to have what you have. And now that you feel free, and to these people, you're too free, that's not fair. God's about to be like, you don't think it's fair now? Let me show you a little something 2025. All right? This is reading. Bye.